Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the second episode of our podcast, Now That You're Here, situated live at Akota Church, where we talk about the challenges Christian youth face in society and how we can overcome them. Today, we have our guest speaker with us, Mr. Shina Sipasi.
Amazing. Welcome, sir, to our midst. We are so happy to have you here today. I remain my humble self, Akinshola. And with us again, we have the beautiful Miss Bukola, the amazing Miss Joy, and the super professional engineer Ayodeji. Now we are looking at a very incredible topic. Can Christians be successful in secular careers? Can Christians rise to the top in a secular career without compromising their faith? Now, we have lots of careers that looks like Christians might not be successful in. First, from my own end, would be military personnel, DJs, secular artists. We have a lot of them. Can they be successful in those careers without compromising their faith? Sir, as a man of the law, and we know that lawyers tend to, add some, maybe not all, but then they tend to, add some things that might not be true just to win a case they are on. Is it possible to remain in your faith and still be able to hold on to big clients and still be very successful in your career?
Yes, but maybe I should say something about being lawyers first. I think lawyers are largely misrepresented. And if you think about it, everything we do in life, if you're going to do anything serious, um, everything we do is guided by law. In order to have those laws, in order to interpret those laws, in order to apply those laws, you need lawyers. The reason why people think that the law profession may not be for Christians is just one little aspect of law that has to do with maybe lawyers defending criminals. But if you think about it, that in itself could be a Christian action. Um, our justice system, Nigerian justice system, is, let's just think about it a bit, is rooted in a Christian tradition. And that tradition from Western country is the tradition that says that a man should not be considered guilty unless it has been clearly proven that the man is guilty. There's an interesting philosophical saying that says that it is better that 100 criminals go free than to have an innocent man suffer for what he has not done. And we may not realize that until you are facing justice that is rooted in injustice. But like everything else, everything, all things and everything can be perverted. So let me even pick on the controversial issue. Would I, as a Christian, defend someone that I know is a criminal? Without hesitation, I will say yes. And what do I mean by defending him? My job in that respect will be to ensure that his prosecutor, that is, the people who are accusing him of committing a crime, prove their case in accordance with the law. If because of my revulsion at what he has done, I do not defend him, I may not be serving the cause of justice because I may be promoting the idea that all that needs to be done is for someone to be accused of a crime and then the person will be. Yes, it is necessary for lawyers to participate, sorry, for Christians to participate in every form of profession, be it law, as long as it is a decent profession, be it law, be it medicine, be it DJ, and so on and so forth. Yeah. As long as those professions are not unethical profession or something that is just totally egregious.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for the background you have given. I just want to take something out of what you mentioned and just to have a clarity to what I'm thinking in my head. Like when you say you're going to defend someone that is committed a crime, does that mean you are trying to give the person a fair hearing?
Precisely, fair hearing, to ensure the person gets fair hearing. Even if the person had committed a crime, uh, for the sanity of our justice system, it is better for the prosecutor, the person prosecuting the case, or the person, or the people accusing him, to show clearly that the person has done that which he or she is accused of doing. And if you read the Old Testament, when the Bible talks about justice, it says that if someone is accused of committing murder, for instance, the person should only be convicted upon the witness of the people who saw it, not just one person, one, two, or three people. Say in the mouth of two or three people shall a matter be established. Otherwise, it is easy for someone to just lie against the person. And okay, Jesus is even a good example. He was convicted upon the statement of liars, false witnesses. And that is why it is a good thing if you have a system that examines, right, the veracity of a witness and also the veracity of the offense that is committed. If you don't have lawyers, how will that be done? So that lawyer that is acting as the defense counsel, in a sense, you can say is doing the work of God.
But at what point will you feel that you are overdoing the defense? Because there are some people, because you cannot prove a case, they just want to put it to you like, I put it to you that this person is innocent, just because the other person has not been able to prove as such.
So I put it to you that this person is innocent can be in the context of, look, you've not been able to prove your case. And if you must prove a crime, the standard is that it should be beyond doubt, right?
Sorry, what if this, what do you call it, clients or the prosecuted has actually told you,
Confess, yeah.
confessed to you as attorney that yes, I actually did this, and then you still go ahead to still defend that person in court?
You are the defense counsel, not the witness. Whatever your client tells you, there's a principle of confidentiality. It's told you in confidence, you cannot use it. In fact, it will be unchristian to use it. Again, let's look at the larger picture. Let's look at the larger picture. If the lawyer does not have the duty of confidentiality, how would even that criminal, how would that criminal safely even confess, to the lawyer that, look, I have done this, I have done that. So my duty as a lawyer would be, yeah, okay, I admit you've done so, but it is not, I mean, you have two options. You can go out there and say, I want to admit to my crime. Is that what you want to do? He says, no. If he doesn't want to do that, my duty as a lawyer is to basically sit back and wait for the other side to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt. And it's not because I agree with the crime committed. It's because we are trying to defend and protect a system that if we don't do it, it may come back to bite us. You
But is
understand?
that not compromising your faith?
No?
I
I don't think that's
I don't
compromising
think
your
that's
faith,
compromising
because you have to
your
have like a moral code, and you have to have like a standard which you're following. And that standard is supposed to be the Bible. If you're claiming to be a Christian, there's no way you would move around and be moving against your own faith while also saying you're serving justice. There's no true justice if what you're doing is going against the standard, going against the Bible, going against the word of God. There has to be a line at which you cannot cross. You have to set your own standards. Even within your own faith, you have to set your own standards.
Okay, I understand what you mean by setting your own standards and having your set of principles that you abide with. And I agree with that. But then going back to the question, yeah, can a Christian succeed or thrive in a secular career? First of all, I feel like there's a bit of discrimination in that because what exactly is a secular career? Are you saying a job that is not ministry or is not like a church work, is a secular career? And if you're saying that is what a secular career is, are you saying the rest of us that are not working in church, that are supposedly Christians, should be unemployed? Because as humans, we need to sort certain bills, we need to feed, we have responsibilities. And wherever you find yourself, I believe in doing the work and doing it well. So I really am not bothered with whether you're a DJ or you're a pastor or you're a banker or like, because obviously there are certain jobs you do.
Okay, we are not saying that Christians should not do secular jobs. We are saying, can they be successful?
Definitely, you can.
Now, we are looking at, I mentioned DJ and then you've mentioned DJ again. Now, we have all these secular songs, and then this DJ who is a Christian is invited to the club. What song is he going to play? Mercy
Obviously,
Chinwo?
he's going to
He's
play,
not going to play
a
every-
song that is in tune with where he is. Even the Bible says there's a time
Then he's
for
compromising his
everything.
faith.
He's not compromising his faith because at
Okay,
that
now
moment,
that DJ who is a Christian plays Shedi Balabala, Shedi Balabala, Shedi Balabala. And then he's going to come back to church on Sunday.
are you
and do
saying he
what?
should be a hypocrite and
not-
act like he doesn't vibe
If he's
to
going
such?
to be a successful DJ, he has to play those songs. Are you saying those songs go with his faith?
I'm
Does he
saying
believe in those
he
songs?
has to do
We are looking at
what
a
he has
Christian
to
here.
do.
We are looking at a
The
Christian.
fact that
Right.
he's a Christian does not mean he should abandon his responsibilities. I have a birthday party coming up. I don't expect you to come and be singing favor or something. Like, that's not what I want to vibe to at my birthday party. If you do that, I'm going to fire you on the spot and find someone that will get the job done. As a Christian, you should get the job done. You should add value to people's lives. It doesn't matter how you're adding that value. All that matters is you're getting the job done.
You want to say something, sir?
Okay, I just want to say that although we are Christians and we are expected to live the spiritual life, but we are living that spiritual life on earth in a carnal world, in a secular world. And I'm using the word carnal and secular as synonyms. Carnal and secular in the sense that there are aspects of our lives that what we do won't have in that sense eternal value, right? Your work as a doctor does not have any eternal value. The value is here. The life you are rescuing is just about rescuing a life here. Most of the work we do, most of our work, if you are not a priest, or if you are not, if your work has nothing to do with spirituality, then your work is secular. And so most of us do secular work. But we are expected to do our work as unto the Lord. Whatever we do it as unto the Lord. Irrespective of what it is, whether it is being a DJ or being an entertainer or being a lawyer, whatever you do, remember, we are expected to do it as unto the Lord. Because what is the whole, the first commandment says that we should love the Lord our God, right? With all our heart. It doesn't mean that we can't be, I can be loving the Lord my God as with all my heart, but my work is a caterer. In that I'm a caterer. Being a caterer is a secular job, but I must do my work and discharge it as though I am working for the Lord. That is, in all I do, there's an ultimate person I'm serving, even when I'm serving people, right? There's an ultimate person I'm serving who is the Lord. The reason why I say I can defend the criminal, again, is because I believe that the justice system is rooted in Christian principle. You understand? Which implies that, look, the guilty or the guiltless, do you understand, should not be held guilty. And it may be necessary for me to take this action to ensure that that justice system is preserved. Do you understand? That is the reason why I will say I will be comfortable doing that. I can also encourage the person that, look, you need to do the right thing. You need to, from a Christian perspective, you need to confess to what you have done. You need to own up and ask God for forgiveness, right? You understand? But that is my duty to that person, counseling as a Christian. But professionally, I am expected to protect the system that we ensure that the justice system is preserved. And so you can apply your Christian principle irrespective of what you do.
Okay, so if I understand you clearly, so are you not saying that it's possible for Christians to do any kind of job? So there is no job role that a Christian will not be able to fit in?
There are jobs we can do.
Okay.
A Christian can go and be a male prostitute, for instance. You understand?
Okay.
A Christian can be a male prostitute. Is your job promoting lewdness? Is it a job that promotes sin? Right? Okay. So our job, of course, as Christians, we're not going to do anything that will promote sin. For instance, I can't say my job is to be a drug peddler. Right? In that my job is to be staying in corner and be telling people, there's coke here, or there's I don't know what people smoke nowadays.
Okay.
You understand?
So what about people that do hospitality businesses, people that works with hospitality?
Hospitality by what? Okay, I travel
services.
a lot and I stay in hotels.
Okay.
I stay in hotels. I think it's a honorable job for you to be able to prepare lodging for people. And it's a highly professional, highly technical job. But I guess you are asking about brothels.
Okay.
Right? You are asking about...
Not brothels.
No brothels. I'm from the perspective that when you work in such an environment, yes, is hospitality, you give services to people, you make people comfortable. How do you deal with customers that come with demands that doesn't balance well with you, and you still need to serve?
You need to be explicit.
You have your
Okay,
rules.
so like an example that was given. Okay, you are working over there as a staff, and a customer come around and is requesting for a condom from you as your service.
But it's a hotel, not a chemist. Not a
Yeah, but
pharmacy.
you are bound to satisfy your customer. Okay, you go to an hotel, probably you forget your conflicts. You expect them to provide for you. If they do that, you say they are rendering good services. Their services are top
So
notch.
I've stayed in so many hotels around the world. I did not know that is one of their job description, or that if anybody needs a condom, it is the
But
hotel.
just the way you ask for a condom is the way you ask for a polish to brush your shoe or to shine your shoe.
I said I didn't know that. This is the first time it's occurring to me.
They would obviously tell
that
you
you can
about
go-
the services
but-
they render.
I feel like, no offense though, but even if the customer is asking for a condom, and if the hotel is selling condoms, what's wrong with giving the customer what the customer is asking for? I mean, it's
As
your
Christians.
job. But it's your job.
Okay, let's not go too far. Now we know that there are so many challenges Christians face in the secular world. Now, one of them is bribery. One of them is they give you a particular sense of dressing that you have to do, which do not conform with you. And let's even leave the hotel. Yes, you can make a personal decision when a customer asks you for some things and you cannot provide it. Even though it might take that customer away from you, maybe not. Let's look at these other challenges that they actually face. You are in an organization, you've rise to a particular rank. Now your bosses are ahead of you. They need to sign some forms. And your signature is needed to possibly bring out some cash. And if you don't do what they want, they might find a way to make sure you're out.
Or if you do what they want, you may end up with EFCC.
That way.
So always think about that.
Now that's one. You say no or you don't say no. But then, most of the time, we've had cases where you say no and you're out of the job.
What you have not heard are cases where you said yes, and 2 years later, you are with EFCC. I have seen so many of such.
So many of them. But
So-
before that 2 years, sir, If the person had said no, he might have gone,
He might have,
left the job.
wherever he goes, they will still come back for him.
I
Because it's your
feel
signature.
like in such a situation, there's one thing I believe in. Don't be the fall guy. Somebody is going to play that role, but make sure it's not you playing that role. I mean,
They're saying that it's a place where you're in a position
Please,
of power.
I have no
where
hesitation
your
in telling you
signature
that
is needed.
if someone is asking you to do something unethical, don't just think about the immediate promotion you will enjoy, right? Let me give you an example. We were working on a bid for the concessioning of the Zungeru Dam a couple of years ago, and we worked together. We worked together with a foreign firm, right? A foreign engineering firm, to prepare a proposal which everybody said our proposal was the best, right? In that, whenever they're looking at a request for proposal, they grade them on two criteria. The first would be on technical competence. The second will be on financial. So before they open your financial proposal, they will first open the technical proposal, and it is those people that made the technical threshold that will be asked that they will open their own financial. So when we looked at this technical stuff, when they looked at it technically, we ranked first. Then I got invited to Abuja. And then I said, we need to go and see someone. And we had this drive, and then we ended up in someone's private apartment. You could see a lot of luxury cars. I was surprised a bit because the people who asked me to come, I thought they were government people and they were taking me to a government meeting. And then we entered into this particular apartment, and there was food on the table. They were just breaking a kind of fast. And I said, come, everybody come there and eat. And the guy started saying that, remember, we were advising, the job was to advise the BPE, and then we're going to prepare the bid document and people are going to bid. And what this person was basically saying, look, we've seen your proposal, you guys are going to win, right? I mean, you've done, but you are the guys who will prepare the bid, and we just, look, this big man was telling me, it's something his company is interested in, and what they would like us to do is to help prepare, there's a way you can prepare a request for proposal, which is like you are arriving at just one answer. Can you make the criteria such that it's going to be easy for us to win? In other words, don't even try to do best practice. Shall do something, look at what we alone we qualify for, and then when you are advising, when they are doing the assessment, ensure that, don't worry, you'll be well settled and everything. And I was looking, where are the cameras? Because I have no doubt in my mind this is being recorded. I also felt a sense of danger. You can't say no, because if you say no, they are going to be very uncomfortable with you, right? I told people I'm coming to Abuja. I didn't know that I was going to go drive out to someone's private apartment, high walls, and so on and so forth, right? So I just started speaking English. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It is necessary that the things are done properly, but no matter what we do, it is also important that we must pay attention to competent people within the country who will be able to deliver the project very well. Just spoke and spoke and spoke and spoke. It was clear to them I wasn't saying yes. It was clear to them that I wasn't saying no. I just speaking a lot of English and sat down and started dipping the serving spoon into the rice and serving myself. We're all laughing and everything. And then thereafter, we left. We did not win that bid. We didn't win that bid. I was happy we didn't. I got back to my office and said, okay, well done. We know we're not going to win, you understand? But it was also good that you didn't commit to doing things like that. You understand?
You're able to use wisdom to direct yourself.
So, just imagine,
the issue is that if you say yes, you're in trouble. You may even win it and become very rich, but you become their slave, right? And the day you don't play ball, they will edit all those things. You will end up with EFCC. You may end up in jail, right? Or worse. You understand? And because you've been playing balls with them, you know how mafias behave. You might actually get hurt. You understand? So the point is that when it is unethical, find a way to get out. And the Lord that you serve says that He will give you words to speak. You will get out of it. He will give you the wisdom to apply. But you can't say yes when it is unethical, because the end is always bad.
Now we've said a lot of things, and they are clicking, but then there are still some things we've not faced. Yes, we talk about unethical. We should be able to say, know how to use wisdom to direct, right? But then there are still these other careers that, if you just don't do what they are doing in that part of this career, you cannot be successful.
Then you find another job.
Then you find another job. So we are agreeing that Christians cannot be successful in all secular careers.
I mean, everybody can't
all
be successful in
secular
everything.
careers.
Do you
There's
get?
no way we would be
So what do you
successful in
define
all
as
of them.
success?
Good.
Is success reaching the peak of a career? Is success having so much money? Or is success being God's agent in that career? Let's say you're a policeman,
Or is it being stable?
right? Let's say you're a policeman and they won't post you to the road because you
won't
will
collect
make
bribe.
you will make no returns. Or let's say you're an immigration person, and I'm saying this because I think I've heard someone give me that type of example. Immigration people can become very rich because they do all these deals around passport and so on and so forth. But there are some of them who don't. You understand? They don't get posted to all those juicy positions. But does that mean they're not successful? Yes, they may not be rich, but they are fulfilled. They are happy. What is our definition of success? We need to be clear as to what success means. If in that career I am able to be a true agent of God in the system, I'm able to be that little light that God has in that system that is fantastically corrupt, and I'm able to walk according to the dictates of God. Why do you think you're not successful? You are. Who determines that success? You've done it as unto the Lord. That is what determines success.
So you mean that success to a Christian means that you are actually fulfilling God's purpose? So either you are rich in world standard, you are rich in the measures of the world, it doesn't matter. But the fact that you are actually fulfilling the purpose of God, you are nailing everything that God has proposed you to do at every point in time, that means you are successful.
So blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand in the ways of sinners, nor sit in the seat of discomfort. That's the man that is blessed. It has nothing to that's nothing to do with his pocket or with his position. And that is something that as Christians we must focus on. We must focus on. Yes, our work is secular, but in that secular job, who are we serving? We are expected to do it as unto the Lord.
All right. So apart from being diplomatic, playing diplomacy in the workplace, just to ensure that you are trying to keep your faith, you are doing things that are ethical. What are the other things that you can do to ensure that you keep yourself and you are not thrown off balance? Because these people actually put a whole lot of things together. Sometimes it looks as if those options that they are giving to you are Christian in a way, but they might not actually reveal totally the end to you, but you feel like you are making the right decision. You're actually just in your approach. Because sometimes when I look at some core values of some organization, you see that basically what they do, what they use as their core values can be seen in the Bible. You see integrity. You see integrity majorly, like good values. You understand? And at the end of the day, if you join such organization, you start seeing some little things, little things. They are very little sometimes, to the extent that it doesn't affect your faith. But if you actually sit down well to review them, or probably the outcome of those decisions that you have made over time, then you understand that these are not just little things. So how do you then manage yourself in situations like that as Christian?
I don't like speaking in vacuum, so let me give example.
All right, sir.
So let's say you're a teacher. The school, big school, right, have fantastic principles that they've laid out. But you get there and you can see some of the curriculum, right? Maybe curriculum that uh, project homosexual lifestyle, curriculum that can change the sense of decency the of the young child. I guess that's the challenge. How should you, as a Christian, deal with it? You have to pray
Apart
about it.
from apart from resigning, because
Yes.
it's
So
always like
because
just
yeah,
leave the job and change the job.
Even-
to-
I mean, run away
yes,
from-
now.
if you resign, if you still want to continue in that profession, you may
still
end
need
up
it.
in the next place. You still, you can still meet it in the next place that you're going. I think this is where your Christianity should come up. You should be able to teach the right value, despite the curriculum. You understand?
I feel like-
And then, but then you know that it will land you in trouble. You understand?
Okay, but if you look at it sometimes too, when you see you already spelled out to you that this is the rules, this is the guidance, and this is the contract, and you sign to it. As a Christian, if you are not going against those contracts, does that mean you're still not keeping your values? You are not keeping your words?
There's also the possibility of not accepting it because, again, you don't want to do something that will promote ungodliness. You
Okay.
understand? You actually can say no, and you're saying no to that juicy offer is also an expression of trust in God. And it does not mean God will give you another juicy offer. It may just mean that God is pointing you that, look, I don't have the part of juiciness for you for now. Can you do other things until you get to where I want you to be? And where I want you to be is not necessarily big money, but it's that, look, you will live a life that will glorify God. And that's the essence of our life.
All right, thank you, sir. So if I understand correctly too, that means the place of you understanding the mind of God at every decision you want to make in terms of job and the likes. And even when the job is given to you and God is not giving you the capacity to influence a change there, so does that mean you run away? Okay, so you take a job, and probably you just feel like, based on the principles that you have acquired over time and what you stand for, and you think that you can actually effect a change. You know, there are sometimes you just look at some situation that I can stand my ground. On the surface, you look like, see if you can stand your ground, you can effect a change because that is what we are. That is who we are. Like, we are the light of the world. We want to show the light. But at that instance that you're trying to actually beam the light, you think that this is actually the right thing for you to do at that instance. But in a way, they are just probably using your principle to harvest some other things. You know, there are some organizations that can be, they are looking for someone that is trustworthy to give some responsibility. And not that what they're actually doing at the back end is actually that good trustworthiness that they need, but they just need you there as a face. Do the trustworthiness outside. Let us promote what we want to promote. But the other part of the deal is still hidden to you. So in that instance, if you get to now know about the truth, how will you undo that?
Okay, I feel like personally, I see every organization, right, has, let me just say, every organization can be toxic, right? I don't think every organization is completely good or completely bad. And every organization has a goal that they want to achieve. So personally, I always ask myself, do my goals align with this organization's goals? And the toxic traits they have, are they things I can overlook and work with? There are organizations I've been to and I couldn't stand their toxicity and I left. And there were others I were there and I didn't mind because it wasn't affecting who I was. It wasn't affecting my work process. It wasn't affecting what I wanted to achieve. So I feel like people need to identify what they want from certain places. And when they find a balance, they can work things out.
Yeah, it's just to buttress is exactly your point in the sense that you have what it is, you have what it is that you want to do, you have certain things that you want to achieve. So if you come to a certain place, you fall back on your Bible, you fall back on what it is that you know that I can't go without doing this. And you also look at, okay, this particular company now, let's say they're selling pharmaceuticals. But when you get into the company, you realize that under they are now selling shady things. What is stopping you from leaving? Nothing is stopping you from leaving. There's like he said, you have the right to say no. You can't just be a yes man and be like, oh, at least I'm getting money. I can still, and then that's how you now compromise your faith. Or you say, no, I would not be a part of this from the get, and you'll find something better. And if you don't find something better, you will still find something as long as you don't give up.
Fantastic. Everyone has said amazing things. We've come to the understanding that Christians can be successful in secular careers, but then success to a Christian is not the wealth, but the influence you can have in that organization, in that place, the impact you can have, lives you can change, and you make sure that you don't do anything that would jeopardize your faith, and that is success for a Christian. Yes, Christians can be successful, but let's remember that being a Christian is not a disadvantage. It is an advantage. It is not a limitation. Always remember that, and then God will guide you. Let's have a final word for everyone.
Don't think you can't do it. Always start with you can, and then see what you will achieve from there.
So my final word will be, you can be successful, but what are you measuring your success against? That determines true a Christian success and the moral or the worldly success. So if you are going to keep to the success of the world, then you have all the options available for you. But if you are going to keep to Christian success, then you have to be careful, you have to be selective, then you have to allow your decision to be guided by God. And I pray God will continue to help us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So I would say identify who you are as an individual, who you are in Christ, and what you want to achieve. You can be successful anywhere you find yourself. I don't believe in limitations. In fact, limitations always motivate me. I always believe you can get whatever you want to get in life. The ball is always in your court.
So,
Okay, one of the way to deal with this issue is to pay attention, and I use it a lot, to pay attention to Article 1 of the Westminster Catechism. I know we're Anglicans, but that's the catechism I'm also familiar with, Westminster Catechism. And the first question there is, what is the whole purpose of man? And the answer is that man's purpose is to glorify God and to serve him forever. If we make that our goal, the reason why we do anything, that our purpose is to glorify God and to serve him forever, we know that no matter where we find ourselves, no matter what the issue is, that should be what is guiding us. Like, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? To love God, to glorify him forever, and to ensure that my life serves him. If we do that, it will redefine how we see life and the reason why we do what we do.
amazing. Thank you all for joining us on this second episode of Now That You Are Here. If there's anything you'd like to add to this discussion, please comment it under the comment section of this page you are watching this show. and then we'll respond to you if you can. Thank you very much once again. We'll see you another time.